Did you know in a recent legal showdown, Nintendo took on the Yuzu emulator and came out on top, forcing the emulator's shutdown and levying a hefty fine against its team?
Wait, seriously? I thought emulators like Yuzu were in a sort of gray area. This is Unreality Matrix by Mac and Dog, and today we're diving deep into this groundbreaking case, fresh from the courtrooms into the gaming community's heart.
Exactly, dog. We're talking about a story that comes straight from the center of the gaming universe, about the battle lines drawn between game preservation and intellectual property rights. This scenario isn't new, but the Nintendo versus Yuzu case, it sets a significant precedent.
So what you're saying is, Nintendo's stance this time around wasn't just about protecting their games, but it was also about making a statement?
Right, and it's a big statement at that. Nintendo has always been protective over their IP, but the action against Yuzu has sent ripples through the entire gaming community. It begs us to ask, how do we balance the nostalgia and accessibility emulators provide against the rights of creators?
That's so interesting, because emulators like Yuzu aren't just about playing games for free. They're about preserving gaming history, enhancing accessibility, and even sometimes improving game performance for better experiences.
Precisely. And let's not forget the community aspect. Yuzu wasn't just software, it was a hub for gamers, a shared space for those who cherish the Switch gaming experience but crave the versatility of PC gaming.
It makes me think about the ethical side of emulation. Where do we draw the line between making games accessible for all and respecting the intellectual property of developers and companies?
And that's the crux of this whole issue. With Nintendo's win, where does this leave the future of game emulation? Does this case represent a step back for game preservation, or is it a necessary action to protect the interests of game developers?
You know, this whole discussion reminds me of the debates we used to have back in the day about music sharing. There's got to be a way to satisfy both sides, a middle ground where games can be preserved without infringing on copyrights.
Exactly. But finding that middle ground, that's the real challenge. It involves rethinking laws around digital rights and possibly creating more flexible frameworks for game emulation that respect both the gamers and the creators.
Right. And what can we, as a community, do to support this change? It's about more than just discussing. It's about advocating for laws that recognize the unique challenges and opportunities the digital age presents for game preservation.
Well said, dog. This case might be closed, but the conversation is just beginning. It's up to us, and you, our listeners, to keep this dialogue alive. Whether it's through hashtag movements, public forums, or even at your local gaming conventions, your voice matters.
Exactly, Mac. And remember, every game, every line of code, it tells a story. Let's make sure it's a story that doesn't end in an archive, forgotten and unplayable.
A huge thanks to everyone for joining us on Unreality Matrix today. This episode might be wrapping up, but the journey through the complex landscape of gaming, rights, and emulation is just beginning.
Stay curious, stay passionate, and let's keep the conversation going. Hit us up on our platforms with your thoughts, and don't forget to tune in for more deep dives into the gaming world. Until next time, I'm Dog.
And I'm Mac. Keep gaming, keep questioning, and let's forge a future where gaming is for everyone. Thanks for listening.
Imagine just for a moment that your favorite classic video game has been rendered unplayable. The console it was designed for is obsolete, and the game itself is no longer in production. Now imagine an alternative, a world where you could play this game in all its original glory on your modern computer or gaming console. It sounds like a dream, right? But it's not. Welcome to the world of emulators. Emulators have long been a hot topic in the gaming industry, sparking debates about legality, ethics, and terms in game preservation. But the recent court battle between Nintendo and the Yuzu emulator team has brought this issue to the forefront like never before. Just a few days ago, the court ruled in favor of Nintendo. ordering the Yuzu team to cease operations and pay a significant fine. This decision has sent shockwaves throughout the gaming community, with implications that extend far beyond just one emulator. The Yuzu emulator, for those unfamiliar, was a popular tool that allowed gamers to play Nintendo Switch games on their computers. It was a marvel of modern coding, but it was also a legal gray area. Nintendo argued that Yuzu violated their intellectual property rights. And the court agreed, but the fallout from this decision doesn't stop with Yuzu. Citra, a pioneering emulator for the Nintendo 3DS, has also been taken offline. Born from the same minds behind Yuzu, Citra was a haven for gamers wishing to enjoy 3DS titles with enhancements and global access. Yet, with the recent settlement, both Citra and Yuzu's lights have been extinguished. This isn't just about one or two emulators, though. It's a wake-up call for the gaming community. A reminder that the future of game preservation, consumer rights, and developer recognition is a complex and ever-evolving landscape. So what happens next? The answer in part lies with you. The gaming community isn't just about the ones and zeros, it's about every voice, every opinion, and every idea. This is a chance for us all to engage in a dialogue about the future of gaming. Your voice matters, your participation is the heartbeat of this channel. So share your thoughts, your insights, and let's navigate this complex digital landscape together. Remember to like, share, and subscribe to be a part of this ongoing debate. Use the hashtag #NintendoWins to join the wider conversation on social media. Because every game, every platform, every line of code tells a story, and we're here to write the next chapter together. Thanks for tuning in to the discussion. Continue to game, continue to question, and continue to push for the future we all want to see in the gaming universe. Until next time, stay connected.
Who knew that a battle over code and pixels could feel as epic as any showdown in the games we love?
Welcome to Unreality Matrix by Mac and Dog. Today we're diving into a saga that's rocked the emulation world, the showdown between Nintendo and the Citra emulator.
Right from the source, folks. This heart-pounding narrative has unfolded on our very own digital battlegrounds, and one key player, Citra, has found itself in the crosshairs.
Citra. Not just an emulator, but a beacon for gamers yearning to experience Nintendo 3DS classics with a modern twist. Since 2014, it's redefined our gaming experiences.
And it's done so by pushing the boundaries, offering higher resolutions, enhanced performance, and even mod support, making games accessible worldwide, including those never released outside Japan.
But with great power comes great responsibility, and in this case, a legal and ethical minefield that recently led to Citra being taken offline.
It wasn't just Citra waving the white flag. This move came after Nintendo's lawsuit against another emulator, Yuzu, creating a domino effect that impacted various projects connected to Citra.
They've pulled everything. Websites, Patreon, community channels. It's a retreat in acknowledgement of the potential harm to Nintendo's sales and reputation.
What a shift, dog! Emulators like Citra aren't just about playing games. They're about preserving them. As the 3DS era fades into the twilight, Citra was a lifeline to that history.
Exactly, Mac. But here's the kicker, the spirit of the community, the essence of what Citra stood for, that doesn't just disappear.
Right you are. Other projects could potentially pick up where Citra left off, but they'll be navigating the tricky waters shaped by this recent legal event.
The big question remains, what does this mean for game preservation? For the fan-driven enhancements that bring so much joy and accessibility to the gaming world?
It's a conversation we need to have, folks. The future of emulation, game preservation, fan contributions, it's a complex but vital dialogue.
So what about you? How do you see the path forward from here? Drop your thoughts, insights, and memories of Citra below.
Remember, every like, share, and subscribe not only supports the channel, but amplifies this very conversation about the direction of gaming and emulation.
It's been a roller coaster, Mac, but as long as there are games to play and stories to tell, we'll be here, exploring every twist and turn alongside you.
So stay engaged, keep dreaming, and never stop exploring the unreality matrix. Until next time, game on and keep pushing the boundaries of what if.